Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Tamika Thompson, and for this video, I am going to be walking you all through my entire 2024/New Year planning process from start to finish. So as we all know, 2023 is headed out the door and she is not coming back, and 2024 is about to slide on through, and I am really excited and I'm really hopeful for the new year. I have a lot of different things that I want to accomplish across all areas of my life in terms of money and finances, business, my job/slash my career, as well as health, wellness, and fitness, and travel as well. So if you are someone who is in the process of trying to organize your thoughts, trying to figure out how do I take all of the things and all of the thoughts that's in my head that I want to accomplish, and how do I actually get them down in a way that can ensure that I am going to actually accomplish them, this is going to be the video for you. So throughout this video, you're going to see me lay out my Q1 calendar, my year goals at a glance, and you're also going to see the tools, the systems, and the methods and tactics that I use to start planning my new year to make sure that it is the best year that I can possibly have. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is hang up these wall-size, giant-size Post-it notes that I purchased from Staples. Now these easel-size Post-it notes were about $10 each, and I also got some smaller ones for about $5 to $6 each. I have learned that I am a very visual person. I'm someone who needs to see things written down. I have to write things down because they help me keep myself accountable, and they also help keep me organized. I like hanging these goals that I'll be writing down in my dining room area so that I'll be able to see them each and every single day, which I'm hoping is going to continue to keep me motivated and keep me on track. Now for 2023, I actually had all of my goals written down on a whiteboard and I hung it in my bedroom. But I found that looking at that board every day ended up giving me a little bit of anxiety. So my therapist suggested that I move it from my bedroom into the dining room or into a space that is more productive rather than a restful or calm or a peaceful space. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started by writing down the different categories that I'm going to be writing goals down for. Now originally I used to write like one really long-winded master list of goals, but I realized that it was very disorganized and it was so cluttered and chunky, and I found it very difficult for me to stay on track with each of the goals. So I started creating categories for the different goals that I have. So I have a money category, money/finance. I have a health and wellness category. I have a small business category for different goals that I want to hit for my business as far as resume writing. And I also have another category for my job/my career, as well as travel. And then just like a general other type of category where I tend to write down fun things that I want to do. And this can be different activities that I want to try. In 2024, I really want to go scuba diving and I really want to go rock climbing. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. But for each category, I try to write down between 3 to 5 goals for each that I want to accomplish throughout the entire year for each category. Now before, I used to just have a running list, but I found that sometimes I would put way too many goals on the list and I would overwhelm myself and overwork myself trying to accomplish, 10 to 12 goals that I wrote down for a particular section. So I have learned to just keep them simple, and that 3 to 5 is more attainable and more easier. And to give you all some insight in terms of the type of goals that I'm looking to achieve next year, for money, I'm really focused on saving a little bit more. So I already have an emergency savings fund, but I'm starting to get into sinking funds and more investing. So I'll be increasing my 401k contribution and opening up another high yield savings account as well as an IRA. I've already gone through my budget to see where I can save money. So I know that I can shave an additional $150 a month that I can contribute towards those goals. For health, I really want to work on my upper body, so I'm committing to doing more push-ups, learning how to do chin-ups, and a few other things. And another health goal that I have for myself is training to be able to run a mile. Now, I normally do treadmill sprints, and sometimes I'll just walk 2 miles or 3 miles straight. I'm really not a runner, and I don't want to train to run a marathon or anything, but I want to be able to run a mile because I've never done it before. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to break my goals up per category by quarter. So by the end of March or early April, I'm going to be writing down the goals that I would like to accomplish, which will actually be mini steps in helping me to achieve the larger goal at hand. So for example, with health and fitness, I am committing to signing up with a personal trainer starting in January to help me start training my upper body to get more upper body strength like I want. I'm also going to be seeing or finding out the steps that I need to take to be able to run that mile. It's really important to make sure that you're breaking up your larger goals into small, actionable, and digestible steps so that you're not overwhelming yourself. Also, breaking my goals up into smaller steps throughout the year, quarter by quarter, helps me to stay consistent, and it also helps me to monitor my progress. And keep in mind, just because you write things down, if you get off track, that is totally okay. That actually happened to me a lot this year, and I was able to kind of go back to the drawing board and set a new goal date or a new target date to accomplish that goal. So keep in mind when you're writing these things down, they are tentative and things do and can change. That is totally okay. All you have to do is move it to the next quarter or move it to the next week or whatever, what have you. The next thing I am going to do is map out my January, February, and March, so my full Q1 or quarter one of 2024 in my planner. So again, I'm a very visual person, so outside of using post-it notes and stickies and things like that, I'm really big on having a physical planner. And what I'm going to do here is just map out all of the important dates between January and March that I already know are going to be happening. So I pay my bills once a month, so I have marked out my bill pay day on my calendar. For January, I have a couple of consultation calls set up already, and I do have a couple of outings that I already have planned. So I'm just mapping all of that out and writing it all out in my planner. And I have everything color coded so that at a glance I'll know what category or what aspect of my life I'll be focusing on for that task for that day. For example, anything finance related is in green, such as when I pay my rent and also when I pay all of my bills, when certain auto pays are coming out of my account. And then also with my business, I use that purple/fuchsia color to let me know when I have client consultation calls and client edit calls. And then the blue color is really more leisure and workout type activities. So I'm going to mark down how many times or which days of the week I'll be going to the gym, personal training sessions, and then also outings with friends and family as well. Now that we got my planner all laid out for the first quarter of the year, I am going to start creating my Q1 finance tracker. Now, if you don't know this about me, I am really good with money. I am obsessed with managing my money and managing my money well, and I have a tracker/spreadsheet that really helps me to be able to do this. So at the end of every month, I pretty much write down everything that I have charged or spent or something that has been deducted, and I enter it all in this spreadsheet. I also keep track of where my savings account is, where my 401k is, where my high yield savings account is, and any other type of investments or savings account that I have. I know that I can log into my accounts and see my balances at any time, but having this spreadsheet sometimes means that I don't necessarily have to log into my account, and it's a little bit more convenient. And as you can see, I get pretty granular here. I'm a very detailed person. I'm a very specific person. So as you can see, I have everything laid out by category as far as household essentials, car expenses, miscellaneous, how much I eat out or how much I spend on food, as well as the number of grocery trips that I have, as well as memberships and subscriptions as well. Okay, so we got tracker number 1 down, which is the finance tracker. Now it is time to move on to my travel tracker. So in 2023, I took a lot of trips. I treated myself to quite a few vacations. And while I have traveled before, this was not my first time out of the country this year with the trips that I took to Aruba and Jamaica, but I realized that in the past, the trips that I took were much shorter and I didn't necessarily spend as much, so I didn't track the amount of money that I was spending per se. This time around, because I was going more out of the country more often, there were a lot of additional expenses and costs associated with that. So I just started to track all of the money that I spend for my trips. Now this includes the food that I have while I'm there, whether at a hotel or restaurants, or if I stop by a food truck or something, as well as anything that I spend as far as excursions, hotel bookings, flights, etc. And I also include pre-flight expenses as well, which is something a lot of people don't track. I realize that I spend quite a bit in terms of, I guess you can call it beauty expenses before a trip. So like getting my hair braided, getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, getting a wax. If I run to Target or Walmart to get toiletries, if I go shopping for some outfits or some shoes or a swimsuit, I enter all of that in there, and that helps me to understand how much money I need to budget on average per trip. And I break this down by domestic trips as well as international trips as well. Alright, you guys, so the last thing I'm going to do is tackle my email inbox and get everything organized in here by creating different labels and different tags and folders and things like that. I am a really big stickler about my email inbox. I have unsubscribed from so many different stores and companies and even some content creators where I feel like they just clutter up my inbox. I feel like my email is a super precious space. Anything that is super important that I need to read or need to see is 9 times out of 10 going to come to my email first. So I always like to make sure that my email is as clean and as, non-cluttered as possible. So I'm going through deleting all of the promotional emails, all of those salesy emails, and then I'm also creating some folders. The first set of folders that I'm going to create are for my upcoming trips. So for the first quarter of the year, I have either 2 to 3 trips planned. And I say 2 to 3 because one of them I'm not sure if I'm taking just yet, but I booked everything. I'm just not 100% sure if I'm going to go. But I like to put everything in their respective folders because this keeps everything in place and easily accessible for when I need to put it up, either as I'm traveling to my destination or when I arrive to my destination. And that's it, y'all. I am all set and prepared for 2024. I really hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any tips or any ways that you have gotten yourself ready for 2024, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. I would really be interested in knowing the different tactics that you use to plan your new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time with another helpful video. Bye, you guys.